Has Bitcoin finally found a bottom? Coming off a very tumultuous last month in the cryptocurrency space, we've seen some major capitulation. There's all kinds of people's opinions out there. Is it going lower? Is it gonna hold at 20,000? Let's kind of dive in and see where we're at, and we'll take a look at what we think is gonna happen here going forward. Nobody has a crystal ball, of course, so I'm just here giving you my thoughts and opinions on where I think the market's going. We've seen Bitcoin hovering around $20,000. Right now, as I speak, it's up a bit at $21,145. We've seen about a 12% increase in the last week, which is positive. But do we believe it's going to hold there, or do we think Bitcoin still has another 50% to go at a bottom of potentially $10,000? Let's take a look at some of what has gone on, what the discussion is, how the past will, I believe, define the future. So without any further ado, roll that clip. So here's how I look at things, guys. I believe that we just lived through the everything bubble. What started out as the COVID pandemic, which brought on trillions of dollars in helicopter money and made people feel like they were getting rich by doing nothing, it created the everything bubble. And what I mean by everything from watches to cars to real estate to crypto to NFTs, you name it, it went in a bubble. We saw how much people were paying for all kinds of stuff that you couldn't figure out where money was coming from or how it attained such a high value. It was going through the roof. Now we're starting to see the repercussions of the everything bubble. So the reason that we're starting to see the bubble burst is because we are now seeing the end of the cheapest money we've seen in decades. We are going back up to the average interest rate of just over 6% in the mortgage industry. And we were going to start seeing more rate hikes by the federal government, which is needed to offset the massive amounts of money that they just printed over the last couple years. What happens when endless cheap money stops pouring in and interest rates for dirty fiat start to go back up? Risky assets start to bleed. Coinbase, the most popular crypto broker in the world, already announced that it's laying off 18% of its workforce. But it's also tech and especially growth stocks are starting to come down as well. So in many of the markets that I named, we're starting to see significant drops from the all-time highs. Some that are notable to talk about here: Google is down 23%, Nike is down 36%, Starbucks 40%, Uber 61%, GameStop 73%, Penn National Gaming 77%, Zillow 80%, Zoom 83%, Carvana 90%, Peloton 91% from its all-time high. So as I said, it was kind of like throw anything against the wall, it was gonna make money. But the bubble burst for a lot of these, and that's why you're seeing this massive bleeding. So I just threw a lot out there at you guys. And really, what does it boil down to? We are going into a period of uncertainty because really no one has a crystal ball. And no policymaker or economic guru can tell you exactly what's going to happen. Everyone has opinions, and which makes more opinions, more confusion, makes everyone full of uncertainty. This is where you have to get more certain on one thing, and that thing is becoming certain on your economy and what you can do. It comes down to you and what your plan of action will be going forward during this time of uncertainty. It's no secret that we are in a crypto bear market. We're here now. Blood is in the streets. How do you navigate it? How do you come out on top on the next bull market? How do we study what's happened in the past? Again, I think it's important not to go in blind, but to have a plan. Understand where it's headed and where it's been in the past, because success leaves clues, and Bitcoin's been successful even though it's gone through ups and downs. The timing, again, guys, is another opportunity. I think the timing couldn't be better. So either you have conviction or you don't. It's really that simple. So again, let's study what the human behavior is. In my opinion, we're probably in the agony, depression phase. We've already gone through anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation has already happened, as we've seen with Luna, as we've seen with Celsius. Now we're in between the agony and depression. You know, steep losses have started taking psychological toll on many investors, and the sentiment cycle restarts. Depression is, the herd is indifferent, and markets inevitably begin their recovery. Again, I'm probably more leaning to the fact that we are in the agony phase, or just going into the agony phase. And again, it's going to start a whole brand new cycle where we come back through disbelief into uncertainty, into optimism, enthusiasm, and then of course euphoria. And then years after that, we'll be right back into the same cycle. It's human behavior. It's predictable. We can study what history is. It's really that simple. Going into what Bitcoin has done, there's a pattern. In January 2015, Bitcoin crashes to $170. A year later, it's up 170%. 2 years later, it's up more than 500%. And 3 years later, it's up more than 10,000%. Okay? Again, December 2018, Bitcoin crashes back down to $3,000. A year later, it's up 150%. 2 years later, it's up 1,200%. 3 years later, it's up 2,000%. What just happened, guys? Again, we are back at a bust. It busted in 2022, right after it boomed in 2020 and 2021. Again, it's a cycle. I'm gonna be sitting here again in probably 2 to 3 years talking about the same market cycle. It's really that common. Where does that leave us? Why does that make sense? Or why does that matter, rather, that Bitcoin has bottomed yet again? Well, because altcoins follow suit. Bitcoin right now is down just about 70%. What does that do? It drags all the other alts down. Ethereum, 77%, BNB, 67%, ADA, Cardano, 85%, Hex, 92, Solana, 85, DOT, 86. And you can see as we go on, guys, the question is, do you believe that these cryptocurrencies will rebound when Bitcoin rebounds from either a lower low of 70%, or will it continue to go down potentially 85%? We don't know. But do you believe Bitcoin will rebound? Based on the information I've shared with you, what is your conviction level? Will history not repeat itself? Are we going into the most uncertain of times in future and we will never see Bitcoin return? These are questions that you have to ask yourself, but based on facts and information and history that I shared with you, my opinion is Bitcoin will rebound to new all-time highs. Again, it's not a matter of if, but when. Here's the total market cap of crypto. If you look at it, it looks like this thing's like a boom or bust, right? If you're looking at it on a linear scale. But if you look at it as a log scale, you could see a steady incline over the years. The $1 million question, guys, is now what? That's what you have to ask. We are here. I understand that this is the facts. It's ugly, it's bloody. I want to look at what's happened in the past, but I want to also know how I could position myself to get really much more stronger through this bear market and then come out into the bull market and make my gains. It's all about the X's in crypto. If you make your fortune in the bull market, is because you set your foundation in the bear market. So you got to get some crypto skills. Watching this channel will help you get more crypto skills. It'll teach you how to research better. It'll teach you how to immerse yourself into what's important and to focus on information that's important. It'll teach you how to find good information, and it'll teach you how to read the market better. What's a layer 1? What's a layer 2? A layer 3? What are applications in layer 4? You have to be good at looking at the entire landscape and understanding where you're putting your money. I'm a big proponent in layer 1s. I talk about why I love layer 1 investing. Again, watch my previous videos. I get more in depth as to why I like to put my money there, and also where I'm looking to put my money into some of these other layers and protocols. And I'll break it down here where I would be putting my money in the next 5 years if I wanted to maximize the dollars that I put in. So really quickly, I break it down into 4 steps. Step 1 is blue chips, BTC and ETH. I'm putting 30% of my money there. Step 2 are layer 1 projects. I go into which layer 1s I like. I'm putting 35% of my money there. Step 3, I'm putting 20% into layer 2 projects. These are DEXs, metaverse, DeFi, store of value type properties that I like. I'm putting 20%. And then finally, step 4, the remaining 15% of my allocations going into degen plays, meme coins, speculative, really high risk, high reward type plays. I firmly believe that those stay in the game now, staying focused, staying patient, understanding the plan of attack will make life-changing money in the next bull run. And I'm excited to go through that with you guys. So as always, guys, I appreciate you being here. I hope this content helps you. I always really respect your comments that you guys leave. It really means a lot to me. I want to build this community because I want you guys to realize I'm here for the long run. I'm going to be putting out weekly content and talking to you guys about how we can all become successful as we continue to grow through this. So as always, guys, be phenomenal. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace.